just starting that journey right now.
Yeah, she just started. She's
Recording in progress.
yeah.
All right, let's get started. Welcome everybody to the West Haven Special Service District Board meeting held on March 20th, 2023. Curtis, if you wouldn't mind leading us in the pledge to start out, and then Ryan, if you'd give the invocation.
Okay. You all rise, please. Put your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear, kind, and gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you as a special service district to make decisions on behalf of the residents that we serve. We ask that you guide our decisions and thoughts tonight and that we make the best decisions possible. We thank you for all of the moisture we've been receiving lately, and we ask you these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thank you. I don't see anybody for public presentation here. Does anybody want to say anything there? If not, we'll move to item 4, action items. We have a proposed resolution for 03-2023 for the purpose of approving and adopting a logo. You guys all have a chance to look at that in the packet?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's a fancy logo.
Yeah. Right?
I agree with Ryan said.
Yeah. All right, is there any questions or?
Nope.
Ready for a
I'm ready for a vote.
motion?
Move to approve action on resolution 03-2023 for the purpose of approving and adopting a logo.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Item B here, bid award professional service contract engineering services related to the development of West Haven Special Service District Sanity Sewer Capital Facilities Plan, Sewer Impact Fee Facility Plan, and Sewer Impact Fee Analysis. It's quite a mouthful. Anybody want to speak on that?
I'll speak, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
As the board was aware, we had prepared a request for proposal to assist the district in compiling these 3 documents. These are sort of the governing documents for the growth of the district now and into the future, and they have not been updated in quite a while. And we had spoken about this earlier, so we're going to do an updated sewer master plan, which will cover our needs for the next 10, 20 plus years. And as a subset of that, we'll create a specific sewer capital facilities impact fee plan, where we'll decide which projects will be impact fee eligible for obviously partial payment over the next 6+ years. And then the last aspect of that would be a sanitary impact fee analysis, which would mean based on the new project list and costs, we will recalculate what impact fees will be for developments going forward. We advertised a request for proposals between February 1st and the 22nd, and we received 2 bids. One was from Wasatch Civil Engineering in Ogden, and the other was Gardner Engineering from West Haven. Wasatch Civil's total fee was $48,800. Gardner was a fee of $56,850. We had convened a review committee as advertised in the RFP, consisting of myself, John, and Matt. We met on the 14th and reviewed the proposals and scored each one. And it was each firm was evaluated based on firm qualifications, the team member qualifications, the project approach, schedule, and cost, and each had a weighted factor. And after we each reviewed it and looked at everybody, it was unanimous conclusion that we believe that Wasatch Civil would be best, the firm that best served the needs of the district, and we're recommending that the contract be awarded to Wasatch Civil in the amount of $48,800 not to be exceeded. And we did, I believe, allocate at least $50,000 for this in the budget, so it's there.
Great, and they'll handle all those things for
Correct.
us. Great. Does anybody have any questions?
And I had one question. So the sewer impact fee analysis, that would be analysis to help determine what those impact fees would be for future development projects?
Correct, based on the projects we identify that will be impact fee eligible.
Is there not a study going on right now, and is that for just ongoing service fees? Is that what?
We
'cause
had
we're in the
looked at
middle
that, but we sort of put that on hold because that's going to have an impact of what happens with this.
Okay, because I
So-
knew we were doing something on
So
that
once
already.
we decided we were going to go with this, it makes sense to get all this finished, and then we can go back and then
And look
conclude
at
the study. That had started, so.
Okay.
We'll just get, and most likely the firm that was doing that for us will probably be the one who's going to do the impact fee calculations anyway. So
Okay.
they'll be able to take this information and then go back.
Okay,
and then
okay.
We'll come back with a completed utility fee.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Great. Any other?
There's copies of the proposals in the files if anybody wants to look at them and the way we scored them and everything.
Okay. Well, I'll entertain a motion.
I can make a motion.
Okay,
You might have to help me. I'll make a motion that we award professional service contract engineering services. Do you want the amount in that?
Yeah.
To
Wasatch
Wasatch
Civil.
Civil Engineering in the amount of $48,800. Do you want the rest of that?
I think, yeah, just action under item B.
Oh, sorry.
We have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll take a roll call on that. Curtis?
aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
James?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
I'll also say aye. Staff report, John.
Well, I don't have a whole bunch this time, other than some stuff that Matt's gonna go over, but just as far as projects going on around the city, everything's going pretty good, and of course, the weather's been holding a lot of it back, but it's starting to get moving again. The gas station on 4,000 over here, that service station is now tied to our sewer. They got the sewer ran in for the elementary going in on 3,300. And then it's just various other projects and developments going on. But I know in the future, when we start to get these developments, we'll be bringing more of them to you guys beforehand and stuff, so you'll know where they're going in and what we're gonna have to do as far as adopting them in or annexing areas or whatever we need to do into our system. So that's things that we're gonna be working on in the future. But other than that, that's all I have, unless you have something for me.
Oh, great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then Matt's gonna go over some budget and staff updates. Welcome.
Wanted just to provide information with, of course, with Jamie Williams leaving our employment. She's found a great opportunity. I always want to cheer on good people when they find good opportunities that reduce their commute time and yet gives them more money. So she was almost swayed by our 4-day week to stick around though. So, but we'll miss her. We sent her off with a nice plaque and everything, but we have, just today, we closed our posting for her position. We had 9 candidates submit applications. Emily and I reviewed those this afternoon, and we're going to be sending out invitations for interviews. We're going to do 2 rounds of interviews. We'll take care of that. Emily and John and possibly one other person will be involved in the initial interviews, and then I'll be involved in a second interview for finalists. I would like to get that in place before our next meeting so we can have some training on that. If the board would like to have any kind of representation on that, I'd be happy to facilitate that on part of the second round of interviews, since they work very closely with you and take care of all your agenda. So that probably wouldn't be those second interviews probably until the end of next week or whatnot. But just want to let you know that. So if Kirk or someone else would like to take that assignment, or if you just want to roll the dice, and trust me, I can do that as well. So just based on your availability as representation from the board. So
Great, yeah, thank you.
okay.
If you're looking for someone to help out, I wouldn't mind. I used to do a lot of interviewing at the college for new employees. So if you would like an additional member, I'm happy to have, if you already got lined up and it doesn't really matter, I'm fine too. So whatever would work well.
We would love to, if that's all right, we'd love to have you for that second interview. So we're going to try to screen it down a little bit before that one and to jump on with you. The other thing is, as we're doing this, for a long time, we've kind of had dual organizations within the Special Service District. We had Jamie with the recorder and John as the more or less the supervisor or superintendent of the Special Service District. And I didn't have any druthers about making changes. I mean, Jamie and John worked very well together, and there was no issues. And so, but it was one of those organizational oddities: who's in charge, who makes a stay if there is. And so, with Jamie leaving, I've decided to kind of advocate a reorganization where we do put John as the superintendent directly over the recorder and the other people in it. So he would be kind of the lead point for taking responsibility from the city staffing side. I don't imagine that will change much on how you run your meetings. The new Jamie will be here and take care of those things for you and would take care of agendas and that. But if there was any decisions to be made, like I said, Jamie and John would sit down and hash it out. But with the newer person, we'd just like to make sure it's John who's got the breadth of experience and can go ahead and make that. So just letting you know, we're doing some minor organizational changes, nothing that should really impact your ability to serve your customers though. So the other thing is, I had John hand out a schedule for the budget. Your budget's a little easier than the city's. Not to say it's any less important, but this kind of mimics what your process was in 2022 for our current fiscal budget. That included a work session on May 1st, followed by a presentation of the tentative agreement to the board on the May 15th, and then setting the public hearing and such for June 19th, which is a requirement based on state code. What I'd like to do is work with John and Emily / the new Jamie to kind of pull together budget forecasts and everything, so we can present sometime in that last week of April. We can get you documents to kind of see what our projections for revenues are and what our requests for expenditures are. We'll be working on that over the next little bit. I've got a little bit of a heavy lift to do that for the city right now, but then we'll focus on that towards the end of April and get that out to you before that last week. So at least you have the weekend or so to look at that. That May 1st one would be a special session, different than your regular meetings, but we hopefully that would give you enough time with having the budget in advance and having these two meetings to discuss things to finalize on a tentative budget to post. So if there's any questions or if you need any additional meetings for consideration, I'd be happy to work that into the schedule based on your needs.
Will those times be at 6:30?
That's anticipation, unless you'd like to start earlier. I'm starting the city a little bit earlier, but they've got a little bit more to worry about.
On May 1st, isn't that Touch a Truck?
That is true.
Okay.
And so we could bump it to like May 2nd. I would like to kind of keep a 2-week period for us to take any adjustments and get that ready. But if we wanted, I appreciate you pointing that out. You all could meet during that time, but I've got to run over there and probably take pictures if nothing else. And I know the mayor would like to be over there as well as Councilmember Swap. So I'd be happy to switch that to May 2nd if that works for the board.
Fine with me. Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
Works.
That way you can do your May Day frivolities and the maypole and whatever you do on that day. So.
Cinco de Mayo is coming up.
Other questions for Matt on those changes? I think that's a good time to make those, and so that's
Okay.
good. Thanks for watching out for us.
All Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, great, thanks. All right, consent agenda. We have action items on our last meeting on February 13th. Billing adjustments, monthly accounts payable. We have a payment to West Haven City for $158,837.84. Also $42,8333. That's for the administrative services. And then our central Weber payment of $309,363. I'll entertain a motion on our consent agenda if there aren't any
I have
questions.
some questions.
Oh, go ahead.
So it looks like we have $26,000 in collection write-offs. Can anybody speak to that as to the process and how we got to that?
Emily, do you have any info on that? Obviously Jamie would be the best one to answer because she was hands-on with that, but.
So I don't know as much as Jamie, obviously, but we go through on a pretty regular basis, usually monthly, to make sure that if anybody's overdue, then they're sent over to collections, and then we do a write-off so that collections deals with them afterwards. So that's what you're seeing, is just that we had a gap for a couple of months, and then they got back to us. So there's a little bit more than we normally have.
So when we send them to collections, do we get paid from collections from that?
We do.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, I had a question about that same thing, because I noticed there was like 100 people on there, 100 individuals that had those late fees, and I thought, maybe I haven't been paying attention, but I don't remember seeing that many people all in 1 month before, so,
Yeah, we just had kind of a stack up, so that's the only thing different from the norm.
okay.
And then what is our process with that, the late fees, and when do we send them? How late do they have to be?
I'm not sure. I know that there's a monetary amount that they meet, and by the time they get to that point, then we send it over to collections. But it's the same across the board for every customer.
And we have a collection agency that does that for us, right? We approved that, and they kind of
Yeah.
Yes,
gave
we
us
do.
that process, what that was. I don't remember what it was, but I remember at the time we reviewed it.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. I wasn't sure who was involved with that, so I just wanted to make sure they were kind of aware that, that we used to handle all the collections in-house, and we've now pushed that outside, and so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did that a few months ago.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember the
This past
exact
year.
time, if you guys were here or not, but I don't think you were. Okay, great. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve consent agenda, Alpha Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot.
I'll second that.
Great. We'll do a roll call on that. Curtis?
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
James? Aye. And Ryan?
Aye.
I'll also vote aye. And item 7, adjournment.
Now that we're done with the public part of our meeting, I just want to give everybody an update. I think in the fall this year, I told you that my wife and I were going to be leaving on a 2-year mission this summer, a humanitarian mission.